Fun, 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 fun. Welcome to the 6th episode of Teag and Mo Review on the Go. This week, we're going to be reviewing Ready Player One. We will be using our ASS scale, a scale that stands for A, acronyms. Sorry, actors. Acting. S, soundtrack. S, symphonies. Storyline. Acting, soundtrack, storyline. And then at the end, we'll be using a 1 out of 10 emoji scale to give you guys our overall review of this movie. So, let's get started with acting. Tegan, what did you think of the acting in this movie?
I thought the acting was super great. I think for having such a young cast, like kind of the predominant cast, it was really well done, and Steven Spielberg picked really, really great people. I mean, per usual, obviously. He's a pretty phenomenal director. So with his direction, I think they pulled off the performances he wanted, which was, they were great. They were really, really good, and I thought they were believable, and I think they were able to perform the emotions that were necessary in those certain situations, and they were really believable both virtually and in the reality forms. And it was, I thought it was really good. I didn't have no qualms from me.
I feel like this was one of those movies where it was a lot of fresh faces, so it's definitely going to be like a breakout movie for these actors. I feel like we'll be seeing them again in stuff in the future where they'll be like having more predominant roles, because it was definitely a lot of people we hadn't really seen before, and they did a phenomenal job. So they'll definitely be getting some more gigs out there, some up-and-coming faces.
Fresh blood, if you will.
Good stuff. Yeah, no complaints. And next we have S, soundtrack.
Yeah. The soundtrack was phenomenal. It was super fun. I think this movie is fun in general because overall, it is a super nerdy homage to like everything 80s nostalgia and like on. So like there's, I mean, the whole kind of premise is that they're going after 3 keys to get this big Easter egg at the very end that basically like gives them control of the Oasis, which is this virtual reality. And within it though, like there are so many actual like pop culture Easter eggs throughout the whole movie that are super fun and really just make it awesome. And so I think one of their main uses with that is not only like the actual like visual representation of it, but they do a huge amount of like 80s music and like pop culture stuff through that. And so I think all of kind of like the throwback songs and the soundtrack was one of those ones that's like you're grooving, you're having a good time, like it was super fun. It was a great soundtrack.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think one of the themes for this whole movie is incorporating a lot of stuff from like Tegan's and pop culture, and I think they did a great job of doing that with the music. And I think I don't know, for me sometimes when I've listened to like video game music, unless it's like Grand Theft Auto and it's rap music, I feel like some video game music is iconic, like stuff you hear from like Mario Brothers and things like that, but for the most part it's just kind of playing in the background and like it's not like anything super memorable. But I don't feel like that was the case with the music in this movie, because I feel like they used like the iconic ones, or they used like songs that were that related to like the pop culture themes and all that stuff, so I thought it was great.
Storyline! Porgy Butts, what did you think of the storyline?
I thought it was good.
A fact about the storyline that I did not realize, which might, I don't know, I just didn't know this, is that it's based off of a book, which was, I feel like literally I got to the end of the movie and I was like, why is it called Ready Player One? I don't feel like they said that like anywhere. Spoiler alert, it's because it's from a book called Ready Player One, which is great, and we have a source that has told us that it is drastically different from the book. But I think one of the cool pieces of it is that even though it is really different, the writer of the book also helped write the screenplay, and so I think that's a cool piece of it that I feel like gives it slightly like the okay of just like, that's okay that we changed some stuff, like it still had the original like author's intent behind it. But I've heard things saying, or I've heard that was one of the things that we weren't necessarily aware of, but that we have heard as like other people have watched it, is one of the things that they didn't like about it, or just that was different, was that it wasn't very true to the book. Like some of the worlds were portrayed well, but other than that, like the majority of them weren't, or like things were left out, or things that were left out in the book, like new things were added in the movie, which happens, but it just was an interesting tidbit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's one of the issues with book to movie situations is you're gonna have two realms of people. You're gonna have people who have no background and go see it, and then you're gonna have people who are like the biggest fans ever of the book and go see it, and so there's different expectations.
Yeah, that's true.
And so like we came into it with
Zero
no knowledge
expectations
and thought it was amazing. And then we talked to someone who's like read the book in a day and like loved it, and he was like, yeah, it was a completely different storyline.
But he still really liked it. So I feel like this one was one of those interesting ones that because it had so many references, and the book itself, or the movie itself, is very much about pop culture and the Oasis kind of being whatever you want it to be. I thought this was kind of one of the only appropriate uses of changing it so frequently and so much. I feel like that made sense, if that makes sense. Because like the premise is about kind of creating what you want, I feel like this one makes sense that they changed so much, or hypothetically changed a lot.
Well, yeah, I think he said like the complete first part of the movie isn't even in the book. You have to achieve these keys to like win the prize, and the first like challenge for the key is not the challenge that's in the book at all. And so that was just a really interesting change that our friend
Max, damn, it's you! We're talking about you! Again, not knowing a huge amount about the book, but this one seems like a movie that could have been cool to do as a TV series, because you could have explored all those different worlds that the Oasis offers, and so I feel like that would have been... I don't think it was a miss. I think there's still opportunity to do that, but I think that would be a cool way to kind of add more of the book elements back into it, of giving it more literal, like, airtime by making it a series or something. Spielberg, listen up. Make it a series. You're welcome.
Tegan, what is our scale going to be today?
We should use some joysticks.
So 1 out of 10 joysticks. Tegan, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this movie?
I'm going to give it a 9. I really liked it.
9 out of 10?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10. Just because I feel like after our discussion with Max, I felt like, I don't know. I felt
it swayed you.
Yeah, it swayed my view of the movie. But just because I didn't know the background. So
do you also think because you're not as nerdy as some people that there were pieces of it that...
No, because I probably came out of that movie thinking it was a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
But then when we were talking with Max, I felt like the fact that they like changed like the whole first challenge like and completely rewrote it, I was like, I don't know. So I think that makes our overall score an 8. So
this is legit.
16 divided by 2. Yeah, 8. Our overall average is an 8 out of 10.
8
joysticks for this movie. And then you go see this movie. It's still in theaters.
It is. It is indeed.
So go see it in the movies. Yeah, that's what we got for you guys this week. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We're so excited to have you guys. Like we said, go see Ready Player One in theaters. We highly recommend it.
Good stuff.
We post new videos every Monday unless it's Easter or we're not feeling like it. And if you want to see those videos whenever they do get posted, hit that subscribe button. If you like this, give it a big thumbs up. And comment what you would like us to go see in the theaters and review. Maybe we'll do that if anyone ever leaves us comments.
That's true.
So, you know, hit us up. Hit us up. Hit us up.
No gang signs, please. Thank you.
You know, it's like my man.
All right.
It's like a Jesus. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Bye! We're lazy. And, Shrimmy HQ is starting.